All right, day trading recap for what is today? Monday, July 13th, 2020. So if you have DAS, which I don't use it actually, but I heard a lot of people had issues this morning with data not coming through for NYSE stocks and just a whole mess. So I know a lot of people, a lot of day traders were holding off today. They didn't want to day trade. So, but for me, I don't use DAS. I use IB. I'm planning on maybe making the transition and picking up because I know it is good software. But for my purposes, I'm fine with IB. I still get direct access and everything, so it was fine. But my day trading recap for today, I will show you what I traded. But first off, what I didn't trade, SPAQ, which has been, you can see on the daily chart, had a huge bust up, I think, on Wednesday of last week, and then or Thursday maybe, and then it's been moving up a lot. It's regressed now since spiking up again, but it did gap up in the pre-market, and a lot of people took it. But you can see at 9:30, it kind of went up, and then boom, big drop. And that might have had something to do with the market kind of dropping a little bit at the open, but now the market's flying. So SPAQ was one. I know NIO, whatever, auto manufacturing. That was another one you can see on the daily chart. It's been moving up a lot lately. At the open, it was a decent play, busting up through VWAP, holding it, dropping down, but keeping that level. You could have gotten a really nice play out of that. I didn't have my eyes on it for some reason. I'm not sure why. And then here, when it regressed below VWAP, tried to break it again, failed, came back up, broke it, and then tested it. This is what I love. I love when a stock comes up through comes down through VWAP, and then fails it once. Usually, I wait for it to at least break it twice. And hold it. It broke it here, failed, and then came back up, and then it went back down to VWAP, and you can see that it held it in this little downward candle. Little sellers trying to bring it down, couldn't, and then moved up. So you could have gotten in somewhere around here on 1585, taking it up to maybe about 1608. Not a tremendous boom, but if you waited on it, it went all the way up to about 1618. So you could have gotten about 30 cents out of that, and then now it's just kind of drifting around. But really, I think this is a longer play. See how the market plays out the rest of the day. But yeah, so that I didn't take either of those. I actually had a losing trade. I'll show you my loser, which was work, I'll show you. Looking back on, I see what I did wrong. It was stupid. So I liked the daily pattern setting up here. So work kind of goes all over the place. It's a little Slack technology. It's a little kind of sporadic, but when you catch a nice move, it's pretty nice. So it had a nice big move here a few days ago. Then it had this downward candle here on the daily, held this level, this 50 moving average, simple moving average, and then it had a down candle, but it was still up. And so this level, once it broke this level right here, you can see all these candles kind of hitting their head right here, and then hitting its head again right here at about 34, right around the 34, 30 range, 30 something range. So I said if it got above that, maybe if it broke the top of this candle right here at 34.67, I would look to get into it. And then it broke early in the day. I missed the move early in the day where it dropped and then broke VWAP and came back up and kind of shot through. This would have been a nice area to get in at 34.63, maybe get a 30-cent move out of it. Nothing tremendous, but definitely a move you could have made. But then you kept seeing it hit its head on VWAP, broke VWAP, and then I kind of got suckered in here when it broke VWAP and then came back down to VWAP, put a bottoming tail in here, and then it started moving back up. I said, here it is, because you could see some volume kicking in it as well. And it went up, and then two big red bars came back down. And I looked at the SPY, and of course the SPY put in a couple down candles here as well. So I think I got screwed by the SPY. But really it didn't matter because this isn't a big enough stop. When you see all this chop, you see it's not holding levels as well. It makes a move up here, drops this low, right? Makes a move up, kind of bounces off that level again. Sure, you could have put a stop here if you were getting in. But because of all this choppiness, this not clear pattern, you can't be guaranteed. I was just hoping, and you should never base your trades on hope, hoping that this is where it was going to bust back up through VWAP and through this 200 moving average and continue back up to the high of the day. But given the pattern, there was no guarantee of that. So that was just dumb on my part. I should have waited for it to kind of continue moving a little more smoothly and holding levels. Even when it got to this point, you could see it came right back down to the. See, now this might be more of an area to get in if it holds this, but you can see even now it's putting in a down candle because this down candle went down through the 200 moving average, touched VWAP sort of almost, and then put in a green candle. So I just don't trust it at this point. It was a bad trade, but I got alerted on one of my. I really like this trade ideas gappers list that I put together. It's basically gapping opening range break ups. So it just looks for stocks that have gapped a certain amount in the pre-market. So opening, basically at the open, they've gapped a certain amount, and then they're making opening range breaks. So you could see that on this list, Melco, which is a gambling stock, and that did that. Now look what this did. I'm kind of mad that I got out as when I did, but well, first I'll show you on the daily. It was gapping on the daily. You can see here closed on Friday about $50.60 something cents, but it gapped up in pre-market. So when my alert came on, it was right around. I'll open this up. My alert came on when it was right around here. I think it made it when it touched it. I think it said 1042. Yeah, 1042. Oh, so that was probably closer to here. Actually, I got in right after the alert. So I love this pattern. It came. Basically, actually, I should move this back here so you can see this. So basically, started the day down, right? Even though it gapped up, it was below VWAP, kept moving down. Then it broke VWAP. Now, and that was a really good move if you got in right when it broke VWAP because it was moving straight off of VWAP. But I waited for it to hit this 200 moving average. It kind of held it, right? Broke it, held it, and then started moving up off of that. And that's when I got alerted too. So there's a lot of factors in my favor here. It was above VWAP. It was above the 200 moving average. It was holding it. It looked like it put in a little base here. And it was breaking the opening range, which was right here. So it made that break right there, and I got in immediately. Took a partial. I think I got in at 1608, also above a whole number, 16. So I had another thing working for me. Got in at 1608. I took some out. I got a little nervous. Took some out at 1624. Then I held through my first target at 1630 and took some off right above my second target at 1642. I only had like 11-cent stops, so my targets were my 2-to-1 and my 3-to-1 were pretty not too far away. And then I held as it went up. I wanted to get 75. I wanted to get that 75-cent hit above my entry, and it touched it at the top of this candle. I had my order in, but it didn't fill. I think it was 1683 was what I put my order at. It didn't fill, so I moved my stop up to below the bottom of the candle when it's opened, and it touched it, and then look what it did from there. So I mean, this is still, even with wins, I get kind of screwed. I still don't play them correctly because then you could see it went all the way up to 1784. I mean, that's almost $2 from my entry. If I had just held onto these remaining shares, this could have been I mean, this is a really nice trade, but this could have been a monster trade for me to start the week. So I'm a little disappointed in how I kind of misplayed it at the end with these remaining shares. But this is the biggest share percentage. It wasn't even a third. It was like it was like a quarter and maybe a third here. And then the rest, like almost half, obviously whatever's left was a little bit less than half of my original shares. So I got a decent move on the last part of my shares, but look at what happened here. If I had just held it, really just held on, it could have been an even better trade. I think, and this is what happens to me too, is when I have a bad trade to start the day, I'm looking to just end up with a decent win and not risk waiting for a longer move, and I shouldn't. I should just trade it like I would trade it any other trade. So, but still, MLCO, decent move. I'm glad about that. But I'll be looking for. I might just sim trade for the rest of the day. But I'm glad I got this move when I did because the first trade of the day was I was just disappointed in how I played it. So that's it. Hopefully be back. I haven't done many videos lately. Hopefully be back later on this week with some more videos.